Hey, what's up guys? This is the video for the fall final review for the year 2021. So we do have 30 questions for this review. I'm going to make about 3 different videos so you guys can watch them and get ready for the final. So let's look at number 1. Number 1 says simplify the quantity of 5 plus 35 divided by 4 minus 20. Now to do this one, you guys need to follow the order of operations. And the order of operations is PEMDAS. So that means we have to do what's inside the parentheses first. And then you guys will do the exponents if you have any. And then you guys will multiply or divide whatever's first from left to right. And then you guys are going to add or subtract whatever's first from left to right. So looking at the parentheses here, inside of the parentheses, we can add 5 plus 35. That's going to be 40. So you guys do that. Divided by 4 minus 20. Now the next step, you guys look at the operations. You have division and you guys have subtraction. So when you guys look at PEMDAS, the order operation, you have to divide, there's a D, before the S, before subtraction. So you guys are going to divide 40 by 4, and that's going to be 10. And you guys have a minus 20. And the last step, you guys subtract 10 minus 20, and that's negative 10. Number 2 says, which set of values is a function? So you guys have relations. All of this list of points are relations. So you guys have this list of points, this one, the one in the middle, and this one. So we want to know which one is a function. In order to be a function, we need to look at the x values. And the x values cannot repeat. So I'm going to do this for you guys. To be a function, I'm going to put a note. X values cannot repeat. So we look at those values. The y values are fine, they can repeat, but the x values cannot. So I'm going to look at the first set up here, the first one, and the x value, I'm going to label that x is a 1 and the y is a negative 3, and the next one is a 1 and the y is 5. So notice right there, the x value is repeating. You have a 1 and a 1. So this one is not a function. Let me cross that one out. And I'm going to go to the next one. The next one, you have a 2 for the x, negative 1 for the y. There's a 3, 6, and there's a 3 again for the x value. So this x value, I'm going to circle that for you guys so you can see it. This one and this one, they're both x's. They are repeated, so that's not a function. So the last one has to be a function, but let's go ahead and check. We have a 6 for x, a 5 for the y, 8 for x, for negative 1 for x, negative 5, and 6. So this one here is also not a function. Cross this one out. Oh, let me show you guys the x's. So the x's are repeating there. So guess what? None of them are functions. So I'm going to put here, none of the sets are functions. Once you guys check the x values, if they're not repeating, then you guys can say the one that's not repeating, it is a function. But this one, every single set has an x value repeating. So that's why they're not functions. Number 3, it says simplify, and you guys have 2 times the quantity of 4x plus 6 minus 4 times the quantity of 6 minus 2x. So we do have parentheses. Notice we have variables. We don't have an equal sign, so we're not solving, but we need to simplify. And simplify means you have to distribute if you can. You guys have to combine like terms if we have any. And then you guys have to simplify all the way. You have to do whatever you can, whatever math operation you can in order to simplify. So I can simplify or distribute the number 2 into the parentheses. And then I can also distribute the minus 4 into the second parentheses. So let's distribute the 2 first over here. So 2 times 4x, that's 8x. 2 times the positive 6, that's a positive 12. And then you guys distribute the minus 4. Negative 4 times 6, that's minus 24. You're multiplying. Negative 4 times negative 2x, that's a positive 8x. Now you guys are going to look at the values, the like terms. We do have x, 8x over here, and positive 8x. Yes, you can combine. They are like terms. 8 plus 8, they're all positives. So 8 plus 8 is 16x. Then you guys have the constants, the positive 12 and the minus 24. Since they don't have a letter, a variable, they are constants, so they're like terms. And positive 12 minus 24, that's negative 12. We cannot do anything else. We're not solving. So you guys don't have an equal sign. These are not like terms. You cannot combine. So that's my answer, 16x minus 12. Number 4 actually says solve. So you are solving for x, meaning that we want to get x by itself. And notice that we also have an equal sign. So this is an equation, and we can solve for x. So we're going to do the same thing as we did it on number 3. We have to simplify, but now we have to take it even further. We have to solve for x. So that 2 outside of the parentheses, I can multiply, I can simplify. So I will multiply the 2 times the x, that's 2x. 2 times negative 5, that's negative 10. Equals, and the 4, you guys bring it down. You're not going to multiply the 4 by 2 because it's not inside the parentheses. Now this one, we don't have like terms on the left side, and you guys can put the line under the equal sign if you guys want to see the left side and the right side of the equal sign. So 2x and 10 minus 10 are not like terms. The 4 on the right side is by itself, so we cannot do anything else, but we need to get x by itself. So we need to eliminate the constants that's on the same side of the variable. So you guys are going to do the opposite. Opposite of minus is plus. So I'm going to add 10 to both sides. You cancel the 10s, you bring down the 2x, and 4 plus 10 is 14. The next step, you guys are going to divide by 2 because I want to get rid of the 2 next to the x. So you guys divide by 2. This turns into 1. 2 divided by 2. That's x equals, you guys bring down the equal sign, and 40 divided by 2 is 7. So the x value equals 7. Number 5 asks, what is the first step to solve this equation? And we have an equal sign equation, negative 7x plus 3 equals negative 25. So we just want to know, what is the first step to solve the equation? I don't have parentheses, so I don't have to distribute. If you guys actually put the line under the equal sign, on the left side, the negative 7x and the 3 are not like terms, so I cannot combine. This one, you guys can not do anything because it's by itself. There's nothing else on the right side. So the first step we have to do is actually get rid of the constant that's on the same side of the variable. So I have to do the opposite of the constant. So I'm going to put a minus 3. But what is a minus 3? Well, that is subtract. You guys are going to subtract 3 to both sides of the equation. So that is the first step. So the first step is to subtract 3 from both sides. They don't want us to solve. They don't want us to get x by itself. They just want to know what is the first step to solve. Is right here. Is to subtract 3 from both sides. Number 6, we are solving, and we have parentheses. We have the variable y. There's another parenthesis on the right side, and I'm going to have to distribute the 2 and the 3. So let's go ahead and solve. I'm going to multiply the 3 first. 3 times 6, that's 18. 3 times positive 5y, that's positive 15y. You guys can draw the line under the equal sign. And on the right side, you are going to distribute 2 times negative 5, that's negative 10. And 2 times positive 4y, that's positive 8y. Now, we do have variables on both sides. We have the 15y and the 8y on the right side. So we need to get the variables on the same side. And I'm going to do the opposite of the smallest variable or the smallest y. 8, it is smaller than 15. So I'm going to do the opposite of the plus 8. I'm going to subtract minus Okay, now this one we actually have to solve. They're not just asking for what is the first step. We need to solve. So I get 18 over here. And then you guys, we have positive 15 minus 8. That's going to be positive 7y. And the other side, we get negative 10. And you guys cancel the 8. The next step, you guys need to get the y by itself. So we need to get rid of the constant that's on the same side of the variable. So I'm going to draw the line even down right here. And I'm going to subtract 18 from both sides, minus 18. So the 18 cancels on the left side, positive 7y is on the left side. And the right side, negative 10 minus 18, that's negative 28. And the last step, you guys are going to divide by 7. You want to get the y by itself. So we divide because we are multiplying here. 7y is multiplication. So the opposite is division. So you guys divide 7 by 7, that's 1. So you guys bring down the y equals, and the other side, negative 28 divided by 7, negative 4. Number 7, you guys need to solve, and notice that we do have fractions, no parentheses, but it's a lot easier to solve when we get rid of the fractions. So looking at the fractions, I need to find the lowest common denominator. And then I'm going to multiply by that lowest common denominator. And that's going to help me get rid of the fractions. So I have a 3 here and a 2. So the lowest common denominator is 6. Yeah, it is 6 because 3 goes into 6 and 2 goes into 6. So I'm going to multiply every single term by 6. Times 6 times 6. Notice, multiply by 6. And you guys multiply by 6. So I'm going to bring down the line under the equal sign. I'm going to go back to the fractions over here. So 3 goes into 6. You're going to cross simplify. So the 3 and the 6. I'm going to cross out the 3. And 3 goes into 6 2 times. So I am going to multiply the 2 times this 2. So 2 times 2, that's 4. And then you guys keep the variable n. The next one, you multiply 8 positive. It is a positive 8 times 6. That's positive 48. And the next one, you guys will need to cross simplify again. The 2 goes into the 6 3 times. And we multiply 3 times 1. That's 3. And you guys keep the n. And the last one, 2 times 6. That's going to be 12. Okay. So now that I do not have variables, I need to get the variable. I'm sorry, I don't have fractions. I said variables. Now we don't have fractions, but we need to get the variable on the same side. So the lowest variable is 3n versus the 4n. Well, 3 is smaller than 4. I am going to subtract 3n from both sides. Subtract. So when you guys subtract 4n minus 3n, that's 1n. I don't need that 1, it's just 1n. Plus 48. Cross out the 3n over here. And we get a positive 12 on the right side. Now we need to get that variable by itself. So let's get rid of the constant that's on the same side of the variable, the positive 48. You guys are going to subtract 48 from both sides. Subtract. This cancels. So we get n equals, and positive 12 minus 48. That's going to be negative 36. Now, once again, guys, you can use a scientific calculator. So if you're not sure about the integers, use the calculator. 12 minus 48, and that's negative 36. Number 8 says evaluate. And if you guys really pay attention to this word, it says evaluate. Valuate. So we are looking for the value of this expression. We're not solving. We want to know what is the value when x equals negative 3. So what we have to do, we're going to have to substitute this value, the number negative 3, into every x in that expression, because that's what they say. They say that x equals negative 3. So I'm going to bring down the 4. I'm going to have parentheses with the squared, and I'm going to substitute the negative 3 into the x. So here we go. Here we go. Negative 3 goes into the x. Then I have a minus 2 parentheses, and I'm going to substitute the negative 3 again. And then I have the plus 5. Now, to simplify, notice we don't have any more variables. There's no more letters, but we need to simplify. We need to find what is the value. So we need to use PEMDAS. Using PEMDAS, again, PEMDAS is the order of operation. You guys need to pay attention to the parentheses, the exponents. You guys multiply or divide whatever's first from left to right. And then you guys add or subtract whatever's first from left to right. But let me show you guys decimals, because you can put that in your scientific calculator, decimals, and then it will give you guys the answer. So here is decimals. So using the scientific calculator, decimals, we have the expression here. You just plug in, or you not plug in, but you guys type the expression in the calculator with parentheses, with the exponent. Remember the a squared, there's the exponent of 2. And then you guys have the minus, you use the negative. So once you guys have that expression in the calculator, the answer is 47. So that's all. You guys can use PEMDAS, do it by hand, or you guys can use the scientific calculator, and the answer is 47. So I'm going to put this away, and I'm going to write down the answer, 47, right here. Number 9, it says, is this a function or just a relation? Remember that every relation can be any graph. You guys can have curves, squares, circles, rectangles, lines, U-shapes, whatever you guys have. But not every function, relation or graph is a function. So when you guys have a graph, in order to check if it is a function, we can use the vertical line test. So you guys are going to take a vertical line, and I'm going to try to make a vertical line. And just give me a second. Let me see if this works. There's the vertical line right there. Let me see if I can make it, if I can move it. Yeah, I can move the vertical line. So notice that I'm going to take the vertical line, and I'm going to put it on top of the graph. So the key is, in order to be a function, this vertical line can touch the graph only once. So notice that it is touching once, and I'm going to show you guys, it's touching once right there, only one time. But when you guys move the line, it has to touch only once. And if you see, when it gets right here, right there, the line, the vertical line, is touching the graph here, and here, and here. So we have 3 different points. So since it's touching 3 times, this is not a function, it's only a relation. So I'm going to put here, not a function. It can only touch once. And if you guys want to check again, well, you can move the line even further. You guys move the line a little bit this way. It's touching 3 times. More, you guys move the line even more, 3 times, 3 times. Once you guys get here, well, yeah, it is touching only once, but this is the part of the graph where the line will touch the line will touch the graph 3 times. So it's not a function. When a graph or the vertical line only touches once, then you guys can say it is a function. All right, guys, it says here solve for y. I did put an x, but the equation doesn't have an x, it has a y. So that's why I cross it out and I just put a blue y here. So we want to solve for the variable. That's the key. That's the main point. We want to solve for y. Notice that we have an equal sign, and we have a fraction on the left side and a fraction on the right side. This is called a proportion. When one fraction equals another fraction, it is a proportion. You guys can cross multiply to solve the proportion. So I'm going to take the top left number, so this one, and I'm going to multiply by the one across from it. So I'm going to have 3 times y plus 6. I'm going to bring down the equal sign, and notice that I'm using parentheses because I will multiply 3 times both terms, the y and the 6. And then I'm going to take the bottom left number, the 12, and I'm going to multiply by the one across from it. So 12 times 2. So let's go back. Let's distribute the 3. 3 times y, that's 3y. 3 times 6, that's 18. and the other side, 12 times 2 is 24. Then you guys just solve the equation. So I need to get rid of the constants that's on the same side of the variable. So we're going to subtract 18 from both sides. So 18 goes away. You guys bring down the 3y equals, and then 24 minus 18, that's going to be 6. And the last step, divide by 3. Cross this one out, and we are going to get y equals 2. So this is the value of y. So like I said at the beginning, guys, I will make 3 videos. This is one video of 3. So make sure you guys check the other ones out. The whole final review, it has 30 questions. Make sure you guys practice. Make sure you guys review. Get prepared for the final. And I'll see you guys later.